Did the chalk block 5K up at Somerset this morning. Nice little course. It's a 1.5 mile course that you run 2 loops on to get your 5K. Starts at some little playground park area in Somerset, about a block and a half from the Sheets. So that'll give you a little reference. It was first in like 1822. It was a little hot this morning. Being the third race of the weekend, my legs were kind of definitely not fresh. Was a little bit tired as well, on top of like the legs not being fresh. There was about 260 feet of gain for the course between the both laps. So a little hilly, but not too bad. You actually start out going uphill for a couple tenths as you're making a couple right-hand turns once you reach the top of this hill, which is still uphill, but at least breaks like the straight up shot a little bit. And then from there, you do some ups and downs, but then there's another, I would say 2 hills total, but they're more on like straight stretches. Signage was pretty good, basically white signs with blue lettering that pointed you in the right direction. So as long as you paid attention, you shouldn't get lost. I don't really think anybody did that I know of, but I'm sure it happens. It was a good battle for the first lap. Me and my buddy were battling back and forth. I didn't jump out in the lead right away because I didn't know the course and he did. So I sort of let him lead to get a feel of how it was marked, as I did yesterday. And then I felt a little bit more comfortable, and then I actually loosened up a little bit. So that's when I started to actually try a little bit harder. But I also wanted to get past that first hill after I saw it from the start line, just to actually like get warmed up and recover a little bit. But we battled back and forth a little bit. I drafted him for that first couple tenths. Then when I felt comfortable, I passed him on a downhill, and he passed me back up on an uphill. And the same thing happened. I passed him back on the downhill. That was about it for the first lap. I know he took the sidewalk on the one turn, and I actually took the road because I just didn't feel like going up and down and having an uneven surface, so I took this, the road, which is probably the smarter move. But I even looked at the race director, it was like fucking hilly, like when I saw him probably about a mile into the race. I wasn't really expecting it to be as hilly as it was, even though it was only 260 feet of gain. I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more flatter, like fire and ice, but not that this was a bad thing. It actually, the way the course was, it broke up the like monotony of running. So you're always on like your toes, I guess, per se. So that was kind of fun. Time seemed to go by really fast. Since it was like 2 loops, the second lap theoretically should be faster because you know the course, you know how to attack it. That was sort of like my plan as well. Attack it harder on the second lap, stay within striking distance of anybody that would have been in front of me. But on the second lap, as we started up the hill, I looked back and I didn't see my buddy anymore. I was like, all right, did I take a wrong turn or something? Here he ended up dropping for some reason, wasn't feeling it or feeling good or something. Probably that whole second lap, minus like a tenth or two, when I realized he wasn't back here anymore, I kept thinking, oh shit, did I take a wrong turn? because he knew the course and I didn't. I figured maybe he ducked down a road that I wasn't paying attention to, and now I'm screwed. Because I would have had to DNF myself and not counted if I did miss a turn. But thankfully he just, well, not thankfully that he dropped, but thankfully I didn't take a wrong turn. Ended up pulling out the win. Got a little trophy cup thing, so that was pretty nice. And then after I saw nobody behind me after that first hill on the second lap, I pretty much relaxed a little bit more. Well, actually a lot, because I wasn't gonna like turn and burn if I didn't have to, and if I took the wrong turn, I wasn't gonna burn up a bunch of energy needlessly if it wasn't gonna count. So I did relax a little bit, made the second lap a lot easier for me. I'd have to look at my splits. I don't know which one was faster, the first or second lap. Even though I might have pulled back some on the second, it was probably still faster because I actually was awake and I knew the course and my legs were warmed up. So it'd be interesting to see. I wonder if I can pull that up real quick. But other than that, I pretty much just cruised the whole second lap since I didn't have any pressure. It might have been a little bit slower, like 10 seconds slower, because my splits were 5:45, 6:09, and 6:10. So I'd say maybe second lap was 10 seconds slower. So nothing major, probably less than 10 seconds. But either way, good little 5K. It's called Chalk the Block because they have a bunch of chalk drawings by some really good artists up at, like the Main Street area of Somerset. So that's kind of nice. I went up there afterwards, walked around, and I was blown away by like the artistry up there. So if you get a chance, come do the 5K, then come see the artist drawings on the road. They were pretty neat. There's some vendors up there too, some good food. Got some good hot dog taco things. I don't know. Other than that, it was just a fun collective of people today. Saw a lot of people I knew. Me and Renee did a good job with the race. Mate's time did. Actually filmed the finish line again today, so I hope to have that up in a couple of days. Well, I just know I was really sweaty after the race. I got really muggy afterwards. I think I was still sweating for like the whole hour before awards or whatever, while I was just standing there, just because I got so hot, and then it was so hot and muggy out, I just kept sweating. Good time, down to 3. I'm at 197 now for wins. All I need is 3 more so I can retire. I also did video the finish, not the finish, I did video the finish line, but I also video the race course so people can get a better understanding of it, where the turns and stuff are, because there is a couple of like Z turns, so you're going bam, bam, bam real quick, with a couple of different turns. You're not really going to get lost. The one thing I will say, it's not a closed course, so you do have to watch for vehicles when you're running. But there's really not a lot. It's just, you know, the occasional one, because they can't close down the race course with having all the blocks closed for the chalk block, so that'd be the reason for that. Not that they would actually need to close the course down, because it's more like side streets instead of main streets, so there's that. Other than that, I would do it again if I get a chance. I'm getting to 2 laps, even though I hate laps. they felt different both times I ran it. And it was, since it was only 2 laps, the knowledge of being able to attack it from the first one to the second one made it feel a lot more different to me. But that's just my opinion. So, whatever. Check it out if you get a chance. We got another win in the book.